The music is hitting hard tonight, folks, because Real Madrid just defeated Salzburg 3-0 in the final group stage match of the FIFA Club World Cup. Welcome to the Real Deal podcast. I am Jarod Hector, joined, of course, by Sid Ramsundar. All right, Sid, really quick before we get into the halves, how you feeling about this 3-0 win and the team advancing to the round of 16 in the FIFA Club World Cup? I think Sid is so amped, he doesn't even know what to do with himself. He's in and out of the stream. I don't know what's happening to Sid
All right,
right
I'm
now.
back now. I'm officially back here.
I was asking, before we get into about the halves, how are you feeling, man? 3-0 win and advancing to the round of 16, top of the group in the FIFA Club World Cup stage. Just quick top line thoughts.
It's been amazing. Just really happy to see how quickly the changes that we've been expecting for so long have come in. Everything we've been asking for so long. The first quick thing I want to point out is just how close Vinny's playing to goal. Really love that. Just already 3 games in, what we begged for is stop making Vinny beat 5 guys so we can get one chance. Stop making remontadas relying on Vinny having an all-time dribbling game.
Mm-hmm.
And we're already there, Jarod. I think that I just I've been fixated on that ever since I saw it in the first half. It's from Vinny dribbles that release others to Vinny being on the end of it. And it just, everyone feels like they're in a better position to execute what they need to do already, so quickly.
Yeah, no, without question. And thank you to everybody who's already in the chat, sending in their message. We see you. Please make sure you like this video. That helps us in the YouTube algorithm, as you know. And then please share this, subscribe to the channel for those of you that aren't subscribed already, and put it out there. All right, let's go into the nitty-gritty, and we'll start with the first half. So obviously, with Raul Asensio being out because of the red card, we were going to have some issues, but Rodrygo started, which surprised me a little bit, only because he's still coming back off the surgery. And when he went down, I was like, oh no, just what we need now. Dude just came back and he's already hurt, but he seems to be okay. So he started out, nominally on the lineup card, as a 4-1-2-3 with Tchouaméni in that single pivot. But Sid, as is usually the case when we are in possession, we were in 3-5-2, right? We were back 3, 5 dudes in the midfield with Vinny and Gonzalo Garcia up front. And, I thought that seems to be, because this is now game number 3, match number 3. This is what we seem to be. It looked a little wonky in the first match where guys are a little bit unsure. Looked better in the second match. Look, everybody seemed a lot more comfortable today. Okay, this is what we do now. When we're in possession, we're in a back 3, 5 guys in the midfield. Obviously, Gonzalo won't be starting, and that'll be killing Mbappe, but for now, that's where he is. And I thought, honestly, I think the club looks very good with that, particularly with the 5 players in the midfield. What say you?
Yeah, it looks solid. I wonder how much of that is forced a little by having to play Fran as the only left back right now. Because this is the ideal role for him, right? When I'm watching it, and he still stands out to me, making a couple of mistakes, but he's the only one who looks weak at any point, and even then, he's in his wing back role where he can fly. If he gets the ball, it's near the touchline. The touchline acts as a cushion almost for him. So that was cool. I didn't pay as much close attention last game, but were we also a back 5 out of possession as often last game?
That seems to be what we do. So in possession, back 3, out of possession, back 5, with Tchouaméni dropping in between the 2 center backs. By the way, Tchouaméni, let's shout him out today. Incredible defensive interventions, as always. He had the one error that led to one of the bigger Salzburg chances, just catching a wrong angle. But when you are the single pivot defensive midfielder and you happen to be the last person back, sometimes that happens. I'm not going to kill him too much on that. But we did drop into that back 5 when we're out of possession last game as well. And I think that just seems to be where we want to go, right? Where Xabi wanting to funnel the action out wide, because that hurts us less than people cutting up straight up the middle, right, for chances to attack us on goal. Look, the teams we played in Al Hilal, Pachuca, and Salzburg, they do not possess the final third quality of Barcelona, Juventus, who will play next round, Man City, right? So let's, while we're excited about what we're seeing, let's also take it with a grain of salt, because had they been teams that are better clinically in that final third, we might have given up A, better chances, B, possibly a goal or two, right? So it's still a work in progress, but we are seeing things that are available now. Part of this situation too, I think, is because we have limited center back options, right? I mean, we don't have a lot of healthy bodies. And I wonder, how much of this is going to, if we are in fact going to be a full back three in possession, what do we think the ideal matchup pairing is going to be? Is it going to be Alvaro Carreras, Rudiger, Dean, and Trent? Is that right, with Trent and Alvaro playing as wingbacks? And it's going to be, Dean, what and Tchouaméni dropping into that three. What do you think we're going to be doing when we are actually fully healthy?
I mean, I think it'll be something like this, honestly, with just plug and play Carreras for Fran, because Carreras can still play in those wide areas. He can just do more, but like you don't have to change the setup for him.
Right.
And I mean, it's just, I think the more interesting question is what we do with Killian.
Yes.
And like, because right now, I would say like, yeah, I think the back four dynamic is very plug and play. It's just it's easier to do things there. You need Dean. You lose Dean, you lose a little bit, but you still have Trent. Like, and you still have Rudiger. They're not like, they're good on the ball in their own way too. I mean, Trent is amazing, but none of them are gonna like dribble it like Dean.
Right.
But and you still have Asensio if he can stop fouling people, and then I mean, hey, even in this system, like Alaba would fit on the ball like really well.
Yeah. The question just is, how much do we think he's got from an injury standpoint in the tank, right? I know he's been there talking to Chabi about what the plans are. Look, Chabi, what's clear about Chabi said is he's going to make rotations. We see that, right? He's going to move guys around and move people in and out. So I think we're going to see a lot of different permutations, not only because he realizes we're going to play a lot of matches and we're going to be alive in all competitions, but he also wants to see who works well with each other, knows how to play off one another, right? And whose profiles match and fit what we need at a particular time. So I think that'll be interesting to see. Again, Tchouaméni talked about how great he was. I want to talk about the midfielder, Sid. I thought Bellingham was awesome today. Just, doing Jude-like things, really pulling the strings. And we kind of saw it, right? Where this is, and again, I want to caution it with, it's Salzburg, but instead of Jude and Fede too, right? Instead of having them run all over the field like chickens with their heads cut off, right? They kind of had much more much more controlled positioning about where they were, which freed their energy up, right, for their responsibilities and then to attack. Jude was pulling strings in the midfield and attacking late with those runs. That first pass he had for Vinny for that first goal scoring chance, which really should have been a goal. Vinny just lifted it up. That was just beautiful. And then the actual assist that he had, I mean, that's just peak Jude, right? What a beautifully weighted pass. And Vinny just crushed that. I love Fede crashing the box, as Cake Eater saying here. He had the goal, which was phenomenal. Oh, first of all, great back heel from Vinny, right there, realizing I'm out of position, but seeing Fede there. I love Fede coming in with that shot. And this is what we talked about, right? Because he kind of was like on that little bit of that right wing a little bit coming in. With that huge cannon he's got from out there, I love this. And to your point, this is what we saw, right? Like, and this is what we were hoping for with this squad. I think it was LeConte on the last post-match said, these are all Jabi goals that we're seeing in the last one. And we're kind of seeing it again here, right? This is, the team has an idea. You see it now. Now, it does not always look pretty and clean in execution, obviously, because they're still learning it. But you see what they are trying to do and what the link up is.
Yeah. And like you said, it's nice to see them not running around so much. I think that was the most refreshing part. Like, it's like Fede, I saw him just casually drop off after starting a move, and then he was just dropping deep to provide support instead. And he wasn't sprinting and like trying to be the one keeping the move alive like he would under Carlo a lot. And I was just like, wow, that's such a big shift. It's like they get to a point and then it's like, okay, like Vinny's making the runs now. We don't have to all make all the runs every single time.
Right.
That's really cool to see. And then also, I love how even though we're playing like accessing so many wide areas, so many times the through ball through the middle is open for Jude. Jude is, I mean, I guess I was wrong. I don't know. It feels like he's not like shifted too deep, but he's just like plays within the zone 14 in front of goal in the same area. So he's like acting more like a midfielder and playing further from goal, but he's not actually like dropping as deep as he would at points under Carlo because he doesn't have to, because we're letting Goulet, Fede, Trent do the work. And it feels like ball progressors are being ball progressors. They're allowed to progress with passing. They don't have to dribble. When they do dribble, it's like a quick move. It's not like too exhausting. It feels less tiring just watching the team. I don't get as tired watching Fede and Jude do their thing, you know?
Yeah, well, and I'm sure they don't get as tired. Thank you, Sam Habib. Shout out. Said we need to change the title. It is 3-0, not 3-1 on the reaction. So we're getting reminded of that.
Sorry, look, guys. It's 10:15 out here. I'm so sorry.
It's late. It's late. Well, I'm sure it's probably later where some people are watching. It's like 2 in the morning. It's 11:17 here on the East Coast.
We are spoiled American fans. We get it at good hours. So, apologies. We're not used to being up at 2 like some of you from Asia tuning in. So we do make mistakes at night. Unlike I'm privileged. I don't know how. When I was in Singapore, Jarod, the kids would wake up at like 2 or 3 for El Clasico. I'm like, dude, how are you at school today? Like, I don't get it.
The closest I do to that is when it's Australian Open time for tennis. I will do, if it's when it was peak Federer and Nadal, I would like wake up at 3:30 a.m. on Sunday morning to watch their final. But I know it was coming, so I would set my day to be like, all right, going to bed at like 7:30 or 8, and then to make myself so I can get up on time. But yeah, but for these fans, I know you guys are used to it. I loved it. One of the things that I also enjoyed, Sid, is you're starting to see interplay and connectivity between certain players. Obviously, and Jude joked about this in the last post match when he was asked by Anita Jones, how is it with your bestie Trent on the team? And Jude started laughing. But he and Trent do have a connection, right? And you saw it today, right? On a couple plays where there's kind of an instinctual thing where they know where the other one's going to be. And you're starting to see that play out with a bunch of the guys, right? Where it's starting to, patterns are starting to develop. We see where guys like to run. These are the beautiful things that we want to see, because once that becomes instinctual and an automatism, right? Like we just know, right? One flick, I know exactly where you are because we've done this in rehearsal and in game situations 10 billion times. And I love what I'm seeing from these guys. And it's the quick passing, right? The quick touching. Instead of just sitting there with no idea of what to do. The idea is quick, because it's causing the defense to get out of their shape. And once they have that one person who's, okay, made a vacated a spot, okay, there's our spot, pass, boom, now we have a numerical advantage, let's go. As opposed to what we were used to do, which was somebody send the ball into the box and hope something happens. Or, as we always say, give it out to Vinny, let him cook people 7 on it, 1 on 5. You can do it sometimes, but this is way better.
Yeah, and it's nice to see. I think this game, more than anything, at 0-0, we were just strong off the bat, like the strongest in the first half of the 3 games. And there's no passing for the sake of passing. Like, it's not like a lot of people are like, we don't want to be like Guardiola. Right. We're not. All the passes have a lot of purpose, and that's just all you can ask for. And honestly, it feels like there's no shackles on anybody. There are. I think the one you can tell is Jude, just because of the press conference and like.
Yeah,
the guy just literally runs towards the ball no matter where it is. So I guess this is a little bit of a change for him, and which is good. But he would also run off the ball. Like, he would literally be everywhere. He wanted to be the left winger, the striker, the attacking mid, and the CDM in every game, in every phase. So it's funny to see a team that has so much clarity so quickly.
Yeah,
and also just there's like I said, not enough shackles in the sense that they speed it up really quickly when there's an opportunity. And that's where it's like not really like a City, because a criticism coming into like of Alonso potential was like, he might be too rigid, he might be positional. We don't want that at Real Madrid. Some people were saying that like a while ago. And I think like this game shows exactly what we're looking for. Like, but I was a little surprised to see how quickly it came together, honestly, even today. And there will be growing pains, but like, I actually think the growing pains will mostly be, can we keep everyone fit enough to execute what we saw in the first half? Like, I think the quality is actually there to execute that over and over and over again very easily.
Not only is the quality there, Sid, I think what fans often mistake is, I believe, Sid, we have high intelligent and high IQ players. So, and Xavi said this in a lot of the pressers this week. He's like, when I show them stuff on paper or on the board or on film, they get it pretty quickly, right? It isn't like, okay, no, you're still making the same. Like, these are smart dudes, like, who've been playing football for a long time and understand the game and know, okay, no, I get it. This is what we're supposed to do now. And so I think, to your point, yes, it's going to be about, can we get enough healthy bodies in here? And can we, and I think, again, Chappie will rotate. He's going to rotate guys so that guys stay fresh. So we don't have this situation where he wants us to do a certain kind of thing and we're not able to because we're playing, Fede 90. First of all, Fede got taken out of the game. When was the last time when he wasn't injured in the last 2 seasons, Fede got taken out of a game before the full 90? I don't remember. Like, it's just, right? Huge, just little things like that to just save these guys, I think, is a big deal. I want to talk about the press a little bit. I thought at moments, Sid, we pressed well. I think, and this is not about knocking Kylian, but Gonzalo Garcia is going to do it with a certain amount of energy and intensity that Kylian just won't, because Gonzalo is fighting for his spot, right? He is trying to show it. You guys all know this. If you played sports, if you watch enough sports in your life, when the guy ahead of you is injured and you get a chance to be put on the field, that is your moment. So you're going to try to do everything you can to show the coaches that, hey man, I deserve a shot. I know this guy is the guy, but I can do some things too. And I think there's a way in which that helps our press, right? Because he has that kind of want to so bad, because he's trying to make it. Kylian's already made it, right? So I just don't know, but I do wonder, when he sees this, right, does that affect him any? Is he like, well, I can't be having Gonzalo Garcia showing that you can press with intensity and still score goals, and me not press with intensity?
Yeah, it was notable also because, like, Vinny, even if he got his angle wrong just a
Right.
little bit, Gonzalo never did. Like,
Right.
Gonzalo was always there. He was it was fun. No, it was like, if I'm playing a video game, it's like the player with the higher defensive attributes. That's what he felt like, Gonzalo.
Yeah.
He was always there. He was near the player. It's like he had high interception stats or whatever. I loved it. And you're right. It's just I think there are 2 concerns, honestly, beyond that. It's also the way he makes runs. It's like completely selfless. It's not like, I need a chance. All the runs are for the team, and they're not like to get open at the last second or for a shot for him. So I think that is a big question, because he's also going to hold up the ball a little differently to Kylian. He's taller, like he's just a striker more than like a tweener, half winger, half striker. So when you put all that together, it is a legitimate question. I would just argue it's a good problem to have. Kylian's a good player, so I just think it's a good problem to have. And I think I choose not to focus on all the minutia of the lineups, especially before we've even seen, like, he has gastroenteritis. Let's get him on the pitch first.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Once he's there, I'm down to debate it. It's just so early now. It's like a good problem. Are you saying Kylian not having to be needed every minute on like a good, like that you're saying we can win games without Kylian? That's a big deal. That's really the way I'm seeing it.
I love it. And it gives us an opportunity to, let's say there's a game where we need to give one of Kylian or Vinny a rest. We can, because you can say, okay, Gonzalo, you're up top, and whoever needs the rest, the other one's going to play left wing, right? Like, that's huge.
And honestly, on that note, I think, like, you can criticize the Kylian fit all you want, but if we look at where sports are trending, like, having a Kylian and a Vinny is like the luxury that the best team in the world will have, usually, more often than not. Like teams that don't have this luxury are less likely to win. It's just it's key. And we saw last year when Vinny didn't win the Ballon d'Or, Mbappe was there to take the lead for a period. And and so, yeah, I agree completely. I was actually just thinking, like, if you can really afford to cut Kylian and Vinny's minutes and keep them limited, get them the preseasons that at least Kylian hasn't been getting, that affords you all this. And I mean, hey, we're seeing it play out now. We just walked through that group stage easily. We probably could cook Juve pretty easily without Kylian. I mean, dare I say we could win the tournament without Kylian, but I won't get so far ahead of myself.
You won't get too gassed. No, but you're right, Sid, because ultimately it's what I've said before, and what I think, to your point, it's the future of pro sports. If you want to win at the highest level in professional sports, you have to deliver your best players to the most important part of the season healthier than anybody else. And if they're playing the most 90 minutes possible, like we have the past couple years, it's not going to happen. They won't make it. They're going to break. They're just not going to have it in them, right? We talked about it a million times. One of the big reasons, besides being really good, why PSG dog walked Inter in that final was because they had barely anybody over 2,500 minutes this season, right? That was a huge advantage. And so that's what you need going forward. I love Gonzalo. Again, I think there was talk about, are we going to loan him out, whatever. I think he's made a very strong, a very clear case that, nope, you don't want to loan me out because I do different things and I'm going to help you with a different kind of profile that will allow you can literally put me up top and rest one of our two big guys, whether it be Vinny or Kylian. I love also what you said, Sid, about his runs. And it reminds me of that quote I've told you before that Pop said about Kawhi. When the light bulb went off for him is when he realized, when I diagram a play, it's not necessarily for you to score. It's for us to score. That selflessness of Gonzalo with the runs that you mentioned. He's not running to a spot so that he can get the goal, right? He is making runs so the team is in the best possible position so that we get our best chance to score. And it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, and I think I agree with this comment here. I think it's obvious he's a first team player. Also, just knowing Florentino, like, he was definitely going to give him a shot if for multiple reasons. Because one, not only do you not sign Budimir, but Florentino loves flipping a good Castilla player for a profit. He loves that.
Sure does. He sure does.
Yeah, and Gonzalo screams like a Mayoral, like someone you can get money back for from a La Liga team in a couple years. Not Morata. I don't know if we'll get 20 goals off the bench and like some 60 million for him. I'm not sure if he'll get there. That's like the gold standard of Castilla profits. But yeah, I think honestly, I think he's like there. I honestly feel like he's played his way into a first team spot, and I think it would take some bad showings, like bad, not even average, but bad, where he's like both not like. Honestly, firstly, I don't think you can do badly defensively when you're on that type of contract as a young player at Real Madrid. But offensively, unless he does something really bad, looks like Budimir is not coming here anytime soon. I don't think the club is. Maybe they bring him in too, but the way the club sees it, it's like bringing in Budimir then detracts from how much you might sell Garcia for in the future.
Yeah.
What are you really getting? Or is it going to make a big difference to your analytics team? It might be like it's not that big a deal.
Yep.
All of a sudden, maybe it's a small difference, but like, yeah, I think we've seen enough. So I think that's a cool big thing though, to come out of the group stage, like, because someone like Fran routinely looks out of place in different situations, but Garcia doesn't give me that. Asensio looks out of place sometimes defensively. Garcia doesn't give that. And even I would say the first game, Rodrygo, which we'll talk about, also looked out of place, like very obviously. Then boom, he's been benched. Like, I think our eyes show us certain things. Also, I don't think the opposition quality, like, it is worse, but I think like the weird timing of the tournament actually means it's like I don't think we're that far off like a La Liga team. Like, it's Al Hilal especially was like much closer to a La Liga team at least.
For sure.
But yeah.
And we'll see as we advance, right? The Juve is going to be for sure a step up, right? How do we look against Juve, right? If we look impressive against them again, it's like, okay, we're starting to build the right habits. And that's one big thing about this, guys. Of course, Real Madrid clearly want to win the tournament, and that's their number one goal. But it's also about the process. How are we looking as we're getting there? And Xavi said this: we'll look like a much better team at the end of the tournament than we did at the start. And you're already seeing it through 3 matches through the group stage. Improvements already in just, what's it been, a week, 9 days, 8 days? Like, these are the steps you want to see. We're gonna get to Rodrygo in a minute. I want to because he was in the second half when he came on, so we'll save him for the second half. I want to talk about Arda. This is what the fan base has been clamoring for. It's what we all thought, right? And now that he is getting his playing time, and he's playing deep now, right? He played deep in this game as part of the buildup. This is a dude that knows how to pull strings, and he can circulate just better than anybody. I mean, we probably say he should have been starting all along, right? I mean, it's just like, well, duh, right? This is where we should have been from the beginning. And we're only seeing it through a few games from Xavi. And guys, this kid is just scratching the surface, Sid, of what I think he can be as that pulling the string, deep lying playmaker, because I still think he needs to get physically stronger, right? He's still getting knocked off the ball a little bit, but man, his vision, his understanding, his ability to pass. I love what we're seeing from Arda.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we expected. I just was clear he needed a lot of seasoning, needed some time, and he wasn't getting that, unfortunately. So, I mean, I'm glad. I'm glad it's happened quickly. I will say, if there's someone who really does probably benefit from this environment, it is him. Where controlling games in La Liga when points are on the line, where if you screw up, you're like your fans are on your head. Oh no, we're behind Barcelona. It is a lot of pressure, and La Liga teams can be annoying. I think the ease of like manipulating maybe these blocks in the Club World Cup is just very beneficial for him. Some people feel like defensively he has flaws. I don't know. I think he like whether he provides so much offense that he starts all the big games is the big question with him.
Yeah.
I think there's no. The thing with Alonso, he's so good. He's gonna get big minutes out of a lot of guys, but he may not get starting big game minutes to every player, and that's just standard for great teams in general. But especially now, like when you need to rotate, that becomes even more of a thing. You see guys getting 2,000 minutes who don't start the Champions League final, maybe.
Yep.
And so I like Arda. I think with him it's a little early, but so far he has played his way into the team, and that I don't know if Camavinga gets in, but there are going to be situations where I see Camavinga playing over him too. So I think it's nice. I mean, you can't have all our guys starting every game, so I think it's good that he's playing well. We need that.
And we know when Camavinga is healthy. I mean, my God, just for what he does from a defensive tackling alone, like we're gonna need that in those big games when we got to deal with Yamal and these other ridiculous wingers, not just in La Liga, but all across Europe during Champions League. So for sure, Camavinga will have his say. And also Camavinga on ball, because for a tall player who is 6'1", he is incredibly hard to dispossess from the ball because he's so good in tight spaces. For someone that tall, love Camavinga. I can't wait to see him in this with under Xabi. The midfield, man. I mean, everybody's impressing under Xabi. But the midfield, that's what we talked about, right? Like, that's the crew that we're like, man, this guy's going to turn them into monsters. And Camavinga is so talented and still so young. He's 23. Like, guys, 24 maybe? We have so much room to grow here. I thought it was interesting. I want to talk about Dean Howson, because what more can we say about this guy? We love him. He looks like he's been commanding that back line for 10 years already. And he's only 21 years old. Or 20 years old, excuse me. He also said he takes charge. There was a moment to start the second half where he was unhappy with where Arda was positioning himself off ball. And you could see him being like, Arda, you need to go here in this place. And I'm like, look at this kid. Like, he is taking the reins. And I've been reading so much stuff about him. And this just seems to be his persona, Sid. Like, he is there's all different kinds of leaders, right? The one that most people can identify, because it's easy to see, is the vocal leader. And he just seems to be a take charge kind of guy. Like, no, here's what I need you all to do. And how impressive is that for a 20-year-old to have that kind of, and not only that, for your teammates to respect you enough to be like, yep, okay, got you, boss. We're doing it. Incredible.
No, it is incredible. Like I said, I think he's one of the best ball-playing center backs we've seen. A lot of people are fighting over how good he is compared to other Spanish greats. Don't need to get into all that.
Don't worry about all that.
I mean, I will say, I still don't think too many center backs dribble like him. I maintain that. I think past eras, like, they just weren't asked to. So I think it's safe to say he might be one of the greatest dribbling center backs I've put my eyes on. There's definitely a couple I'm forgetting over the years, especially for the ones who played for those tiki-taka teams that I don't love watching all the time. But I don't even know if Laporta averaged as many ball carries. I'd have to look. I will say, though, Dean was good. I still noticed him, but I did start noticing Trent a little more this game, because I feel like the first game or two, it's like, hey, Dean likes like circulation a lot, so he can kind of just be the protagonist any game. But when we're creating and really effective, Trent is going to be the one pushing the pace more, whereas Dean will control it.
Oh yeah.
And we kind of see that today. Trent increased our chances of scoring as a passer by the most. Also, there was that one. Also, all the stupid ass Liverpool accounts are all quiet now. I was just like, there was one possession when that Red Bull dude, Salzburg, he did like 20 step overs to try and shake Trent. Trent was just like,
whatever, bro.
And I'm just like, damn, they won't clip that over at Anfield.
Listen, we know what's going on over at Anfield. They're hurt because The thing is, guys, and you fans, you know this. The only reason why they do that is because they're mad. They don't have him anymore. They're upset and they're hurt. That's why they say, "Oh, Trent's not that good." It's what all fans do. Fan is short for fanatic. By definition, we are irrational people, right? It's emotion based. This is what happens when your favorite player leaves. You get fired up and you try to say, "Oh, well, he's not that good anyway." Which, come on, we know Trent's incredible. He was so good.
Yeah, and yeah, just throwing his stats up here.
Yeah,
From
I love him tucking in and advancing. He was living in the Red Bull half in this match. And again, his link up play with whoever's on that side. It was Jude came over a couple times, Fede came over a couple times. When Franco's there, him and Franco linking up on that side. I mean, it's going to be a wonderful thing.
He also had that one just chipped out ball, through ball to Vinny.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, this is ridiculous. Like, I mean, this is what we envisioned, but damn, he played with who? Like, who did he play with? I know he played with Salah, but outside Salah,
right? Who's elite, of course. Let's not knock Mo Salah. Mo Salah's elite.
Salah's one of the best. Don't get me wrong. I would say, like, I think Vinny's a better dribbler, but you could just say Salah and Vinny basically cancel out. They're the same type of player, very similar. And then you have, like, I mean, Firmino was good. Like, he was good. He was no Kareem, but he was good.
Right,
I'll give him credit. I don't want to underrate him. He's honestly a lot of intangibles, winning guy. But Mane was solid. I mean, he did the dirty work, but it's just like, I don't know. It's the same way, like, I was saying, Fede Valverde is the Steven Gerrard of Jordan Henderson's. And, like, I think it's rude. I know Carlo made the comp. I think Gerrard was better than Fede, like, overall. But
yeah, Xavi made the comp. Yeah.
Oh, Xavi did. I thought Carlo did.
No, Xavi said it. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, and so in that sense, like, we're playing with the Rolls Royce version of all their role players. It's just a better team, and we're seeing glimpses. It's a nice marriage. Like, they're trying to find a balance. Like, we need Trent to create, but it's not the Premier League in Liverpool where you where you have Henderson next to you. You can take your time.
He said it's not the Premier League.
Like, it's not even that. It's not even about the Premier League. Honestly, that league is strong. I don't even. It's really about Jordan Henderson and James Milner. Oh my God, I remember those days when, like, they'd pull up to the Etihad. Oh, Pep's 98-point team, our 97-point team, midfield, James Milner and Jordan Henderson. I'm like, oh my God, like, Klopp is a magician, dude. Like, because those guys just were, I don't know, they're literally like the English stereotype of midfielder. Like, we're a hardworking midfielder who's not really skillful.
Right.
Or I should say the Spanish stereotype of English midfielders.
Yes.
And so it's just cool to see this beginning. It's cool to see it already happen game 3. I want to see more, but I think it's going to be a controlled growth here, especially until we figure out how we're going to cross it more, which we're not there yet. So it's cool to see that without crossing, we're like he has crossed it at points, but without the same old, like, Trent crosses, he's still so dangerous just playing those crazy passes at all angles. He's kind of like Modric from right back. Like, he can play any pass, any angle, any curve. Modric could curve it both ways too.
Yeah. On the first goal, the Vinny goal, when he scored, you could see, I don't know if you clocked this, Sid, the whole squad was happy for him. Like, they all could sense that, like, all right, man, our guy's been struggling. Like, he needed this bad. And once he scored it, because you can see they all got lifted by it. Everybody was ear to ear. All you saw were teeth, because they were just smiling like, oh, thank God. We got to get this guy back to feeling confident. And that stuff's important, man. Like, these are the little things that matter. 2 years ago, when we did the double, I remember talking to Sid during various things, either on Twitter or offline or whatever. And I'd say the team looks so connected and they're genuinely so happy for each other. And you can see it. And that matters. That stuff matters. Last season, or this current season that we're in, we didn't see it as much, right? It looked a little more disjointed, a lot less of that. Everybody being happy for one another. That joy is starting to come back. And especially for Vinny, that joy is important. Xavi even said it. He plays best when he is happy and joyful, right? We got to get him back to that. And getting that goal and that assist, like, that, huge joy for him. And you could see, like, a bit of a weight. And the team felt a bit of a weight, because once they scored that goal, they even had a little bit more wind in their sails. And it was like, all right, let's do some stuff now. And they really took off from there.
Yeah. And so a lot of people... I agree about the goal. I just because when we talk about mental stuff, immediately just mind drifted to Rodrygo again.
We'll get to Rodrygo.
But on that note, yeah, Vinny, I'm glad that happened. I mean, again, he creates so much separation with his movement, so that's cool. But he needed that finish. He had a couple moments before that when I think he messed up a couple little situations, and so that was good because that was really neat. It was clean, and he just fried the defenders. His speed was on display. Also, I just think this is so good for his longevity. This new role,
Yeah.
just dribbling long yards isn't good for wingers, and also just most people don't realize maybe like as fans we don't want to realize. I've realized this because when I was young, I remember the moment when I heard Ronaldo was like 28 because I had a friend who was like kind of into the like more analytical side of things, and he's like, isn't that sad? I'm like, why, bro? Like he's just 28, but deep down, you know what he meant. Like he's not going to be the same much longer.
Right.
And with wingers, like I think most players you assume the peak is 25 to 30. Wingers and fullbacks, it's really like 21 to 26 before you lose that like real speed because as you get older, the bones just can't handle that type of movement.
Right.
And 40-yard dribbles, like the long carries,
a lot, man.
Yeah, they're a lot. So I'm really happy for him. And just briefly, I guess we want to move into Rodrygo there.
Yeah.
I mean, it sounds like he had a fitness issue is what the reports are, that like he wasn't the most fit. And I mean, hey, it didn't look like he had much burst that first game. So if that's true, good for him. Like maybe he would have had more burst if he was fitter that game. I think it's really dangerous to play him if he can't play on the left wing, unfortunately. And that's just not going to be an option for him anytime soon. So let's not risk lowering his stock. That first game, like I said, if you like watch stats or highlights, you might say, oh, he got an assist that increased his price. It brought his price down. If you're looking at versatility, or if you're a Premier League club, you're like, okay, like that just show teams what he can't do.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know I don't think this is necessarily with him getting sold though. I actually believe the fitness report, like he looked like he had negative bursts, like even by Rodrygo standards.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on with him physically and or everything that's going on in terms of just like his headspace. Look, I say it all the time. These guys are human beings. I have no idea what's going on. Like what we do know is what we hear, which is he consistently doesn't like playing out of position and wants to play on the left-hand side. But as we've said a million times, bro, you've done nothing to demonstrate we should put you there ahead of Vinny or Kylian. So you have to be on the right side. And then on the right side, you're not giving the output necessary to even keep your place, right? What we've seen is that based on, and again, it's a physical thing, could be some other stuff. Through what we've seen and the players that we've seen play, he has not demonstrated that he should be a starter in the 11, right? He has not demonstrated that in this short amount of time. Now, if he does in fact end up staying with us and not getting moved to another club, listen, this preseason, this is it, right? This is the time. He's got to show in the preseason and to start the season when he gets his opportunities, if he's ready, wherever he gets played. And it will not be that left side. And look, I think the team knows that. And I think their goal is, can we move him and then get a certain amount of money back so we can bolster ourselves somewhere else? That's what I've been saying for a long time. We know that Pep's been an admirer of him for a while. Arteta's talked about him. There's something's going on there. And again, I want to be clear and give him grace. I don't know, so I can't report anything, but I want to give him the benefit of the doubt that there may be something going on inside his personal life that is affecting him that we are not privy to. I mean, guys, you have a fight with your friend, your partner, your spouse, whatever, and you go to work that day, it's going to be a shit day at work. Like, it just will be. You're just going to not have a good day. It's the same for them, right? It's just they're going to have bad time doing what they're doing. I mean, he didn't even look happy getting off the bench, Sid, coming into the match. I was like, oh, this is not good.
Yeah, hope the best for him. If he stays, I think it would be because we're not getting Nico Paz, and so you get a guy who simultaneously backs up Vinny and Jude. I could see him playing in that Jude section, like that area of the pitch, effectively when Jude is out with surgery. Because he has the like ball control in short spaces. He can't release the ball as well as Jude.
Right,
he's not as good a playmaker.
Right.
And he's
not the physical specimen that Jude's in terms of like holding guys off, and so he ain't doing none of that.
You can't, he's not going to be the same outlet for Trent from midfield where he can just chip it. Right now, it looks like Trent can just chip it to Jude or even Gonzalo and get something out of it if we need. You don't get that with Rodrygo. So you put all that together. It's tricky. And And also, yeah, I think like, you asked about the midfield. I think the
Hmm.
midfield is just an example of how if you're the right profile, I think you fit very quickly on this team. It's a very
Hmm.
talented team. What's needed is obvious. Like Chouameni, he went from not looking good as a defender or offensive player for years, it seemed like on and off, to suddenly being in a hybrid CB CDM like in like 8 days. And this is what we were talking about. It took 8 days, guys. Like 8 days, he's playing some complex role. He's stepping up sometimes he's not. It's like clearly situational. But he was asking for this, and I think it is a little damning as to what was happening before. Like clearly, just complete lack of direction. I'm kind
Hmm.
of shocked how far we went, just with that level of lack of direction. And again, in key moments when we won big titles, we had just enough. But just enough is a far cry from like surplus and like as much as possible every game, as much detail as possible, as much attention to the margins, as much
Hmm.
trying to separate from the other team so that you have space to breathe. It's nice. It's really nice.
And it's also clear that now it's a different situation because they're playing in the States and it's been so hot here the last week. These cooling breaks, Javi's giving clear instruction, and it's not just team instruction. It is individually to a player and then to two at a time that seemingly have a link up and are working together. We're seeing a level of detail and coaching that, again, and it's not about knocking Carlo. It's just more that this is Javi's style. He's much more of a proactive, talking, communicating. And I think it's also he's getting feedback from them, right? Not only what he's seeing with his eyes as the great player that he is, but he's getting feedback from them and saying, okay, yeah, I hear you. Try this, right? And then if for whatever reason the team's not playing well, he's saying, okay, let's shift to this. In possession, do this. I want you to drop here. Right? Those things matter and they're important. Yes, everybody knows at halftime you go and you change whatever, but the ability to change on the fly, that's huge. And I think the team is going to have more and more of that going on.
Yeah, definitely. It was cool, interesting to see. I guess the last thing I want to touch on for this game is just we did get tired in the second half, but
Yeah, I want to get to that. Yeah. So you do think it was just us getting tired, or was it they were on the front
we're
foot
up 2-0.
and
What,
we
what
were
do you what do
tired?
you what do you expect? We're up 2-0. Like even if you're paying me a lot, like damn, just get the steak ready, bro. I'm done. Like just get my dinner ready, yo. Like you saw Jude like literally arguing with the ref trying to waste time to get off. Like I think smart time wasting is absolutely essential to any top coach's plan in 2025. Guardiola does it like 24/7. I think Alonso has to do it. We've seen it with Leverkusen and also just yeah, like when he was on the teams that didn't kill games with possession, they could kill games sometimes just sitting back and countering. And I think that's very much translated into him as a coach. Also, like just tying into everything we talk about, it's hard to execute at the highest level for 90 every way. So don't force yourself to execute the hardest game plan for 90 minutes. I think being able to suffer, like Zidane used to say, is like
Mhm.
absolutely essential. Like having a phase of play where you maybe give up 2-3 shots, but you don't give up a goal and you
Mhm.
don't give up any momentum, but
Right.
you don't dominate.
Mhm.
I think that's honestly like unavoidable for any team that's trying to win like decade after decade, like we are at this point. Like
Mhm.
unavoidable. And we didn't press all the time in the past, but if you want that beautiful first half with that pressing,
Yeah.
you do need to be accepting of what you saw. And also, we were up 2-0. Like I'm not
Right.
having it from people. Like we're up 2-0. It's like I don't know. They've been playing in the sun every time. It's like the
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
nighttime game. So I think that's fine.
Do you think that there is any credence to when another team decides to get aggressive and be more front foot when they're behind, right? Because we've scored early, that the kind of pl- uh build up and progression we want to have in possession, we haven't we haven't mastered all that Javi wants us to do yet. So it's still a little bit when pressure comes, right? We're not as good as we were when it's a little bit less pressure.
I think there's an element of that, but I actually just don't think Alonso will be like Guardiola in that regard. Like he's not gonna die on like he's just not gonna have a team that kills games fully with possession. I just think he will lean away from possession. And when you do lean away from possession, it's not always gonna look good as a like it's not always gonna be pretty. You just gotta accept that.
Mhm.
Like it's
Mhm.
not gonna be gorgeous. You're gonna stats might not look great. Um and you definitely watching the game might wonder. And it's like I mean, it's not the same parallel, but the first half of the 2022 final against Liverpool when we're
Mhm.
struggling. If you're up already in a game and that's how the second half plays out, that's okay. Like it's not a
Right.
big deal. The other team hits the post once or twice, it's fine. And it's just I think it's just a willing trade off you got to make.
Mhm. Mhm.
And also there's also just like it's all about rotation though. That's what I was saying earlier. It's purely about how many guys can we get on the pitch. When Jude is out, how does it look? Can we kind of rotate in a way, or also like get lucky with injuries in a way where we're not losing too many guys in the same positions at the same time? Also, it's just the Club World Cup. I don't know how fit the guys are relative to like a season. It could be that like it could be that every team is kind of at 80% the whole tournament. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I expect more of this as the tournament goes on. Like, I think knockout rounds will be difficult the last 20 minutes and stuff too.
Yeah, it's the end of a long and grueling season for the European 5 leagues, right? Based on the calendar. This is not the start of a new season. This is the continuation of a current season. So they're pretty exhausted, right? It's this thing now where if we win this, I think the finals on July 16th, maybe. And then La Liga starts August 16th, so it's a month, which means no preseason. And it's like, look, I never want the squad to lose. I always want them to win. But it's like, we're at the stage now where it's like, man, like what ultimately is best for their bodies, right? Is it play well against Juve and lose in some weird, bizarre fashion? That way they have time to actually rest and recover, or no, go the way through, win it, get the money, not have an actual proper time to rest off season and hope for the best, right? You know me, Sid. Hope is not a strategy. That's just not a thing, right? Like I much prefer to have actual rest and an actual preseason and training camp so we can really get some work in, but we'll see how that all plays out and what happens.
Yeah, definitely. We will see how it plays out. Next up, we got Juventus on the schedule. I haven't dug too much into them besides knowing that they had some hope with Mata and then they lost it. And I don't know, is it Allegri back there? I know fans are upset. That's like if we brought like Solari or Mourinho in 2025 or something. It feels it's like bringing Mourinho back for them. But yeah, it's looking bad. I mean, let me just double check this because it would be dumb if I'm wrong.
I see BGP said if we go all the way to the final, this is our preseason. Yeah, but the problem is BGP, a preseason is exactly what it is. Before the start of a season. In that, it's when another season ends, you come back from break and you start, right? Not continue on from a current season.
Yeah. Also just check in. So Juventus, who is the coach of Juventus? Igor Tudor replaced Thiago Motta. Okay, so no, they didn't bring Allegri back. Allegri's at Milan right now. It's just funny. The Serie A coaches, they just rotate Conte, Allegri.
Motta was 2-3 dudes.
Yeah, Motta was the one fresh breath of air. But yeah, like I think we should beat them. City had a pretty easy way with them. They created 3 XG today after conceding 1. So should be good. Let's just look at the bracket real quick, Jarod. And pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Let's see.
And see if we beat Juve, who we would have in the so it's round of 16 and then right quarter semi. So like who would we get in the following round? Let's pull that up. But guys in the chat, thank you so much for all your messages. We see them. Hey, if you guys love this, please like this video right now. Subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit the alert tab so you get the alerts when we go live, which will happen after every match. And then also share this out with your friends and people who like intelligent football talk.
Let me just remove this comment here.
Yeah.
So we're playing Juve. Right. Winner gets Dortmund. Well, Dortmund play. Winner doesn't necessarily get Dortmund. Let me see who that is. Real Madrid. Club World Cup.
I like that Bayern and PSG are in the top half. Let them beat each other up.
So Dortmund, Monterrey, and Real Madrid, Juve. So yeah, we probably get Dortmund, and then we got Bayern and Paris. Yeah, I'm glad, and who knows, maybe some Messi magic against PSG. I'm actually rooting for him. I'm rooting for him against PSG. Screw PSG. Like I'd rather see like go Miami. It's just like I think as long as it's not against us, every other team in the tournament, I want to see Messi cook them. It's just funny. But then us, it would be honestly funny if he could. Honestly, I want to see y'all. I want to see them in the semifinal of this tournament. That would be fun. But dude, honestly, that would be iconic. Because they beat Porto or whoever they beat. That was cool. That was cool.
Yeah. Look, we don't want to be seeing no Messi magic against us because Lord knows, if that happens, Barca will claim that somehow.
They will.
They will
They will.
1000% claim that.
They will claim it, and unfortunately, we have Fran Garcia, but I know Messi doesn't play there, but like it is Fran Garcia, not Carreras out there. But it is Dean's zone that Messi plays a lot in. If we're being real, it's right in front of Dean. We don't want a Guardiola situation, but hey, this isn't 2022. It's not Argentina anymore. Guardiola signed for City, the cursed team. Hoisin's here at the blessed Kings Club that's going to win, so it's a little different.
I love it.
Other side of the bracket. So City are playing Al Hilal.
Yep.
I want to see Inzaghi do something. Get your revenge on Pep.
Come on, Inzaghi, do something. and then we got Inter and who? Palmeiras? Is that who that is? Oh no, Inter and
Fluminense.
Fluminense, yeah.
And then
Chelsea, Benfica.
Palmeiras, Botafogo, PSG, and then Chelsea, Benfica. Chelsea made it after that loss. So Carreras against Chelsea is the way I see it.
Yo, Carreras out here like he's just like, yo, man, I can't wait to join Real Madrid. He's just like, man, you can see he's just like, I'm just waiting, please.
He's just watching Fran. He's just watching Fran. He's like, damn, they need me, bro. Like, why'd y'all not tell me, bro? He's just calling the president. He's like, he's telling his agent to rattle the president a few more. Every game we play, his agent calls the president. He's like, you better fucking tell me like the day after the tournament ends, bro. Or I'm not showing up to training.
Oh man. No. It has been, look, it's a tournament that for many reasons is not good for the players, right? For their health and all that. We are where we are, so we kind of we're dealing with it as it is. But I think that we're seeing some good things. We are seeing some positive signs. We are seeing a team, a club that has an idea about what they're doing going forward and what they want to do and who they're going to be. And again, we're seeing evaluation, right? Everything happening right now is evaluation. Who do I see is going to be a part of this squad going forward? And who are we going to have to move on from? And that's just the reality of life at Real Madrid, but life at a big football club, at a top 5 league, right? This is how it works. All right, folks, again, thank you so much for tuning in. We will be back for sure, obviously, after the Juventus match next week. But said we probably have another episode out before then.
Yeah, TBD. We're working on different things. But yeah, we will potentially one before Juve, but definitely after Juve. And I do think we're the favorite for this tournament. We'll see what else we have in store. Definitely, like as the games get bigger, we will do a bigger preview. Not sure. It's hard to. The Juve fans are all just sad nowadays. Like they're just like, why are we in this tournament? Like they're players in the tournament. You saw the Juve at the White House. They're just a meme. Like. Like their players just go to the White House to get lectured on politics, and they're just like laughing at each other. And like, well, like they didn't do that to any other team. I didn't see any other team get memed like that.
Poor Juve. Poor Juve.
Hey, that's what happens when you commit so much financial fraud. That's what you get, folks. Karma is real. Karma is real. But yeah, we will have plenty of more content, guys. Plenty is in the works, as you all know. Every day the show, we attempt to upgrade it, get it better, and we're really still in a pilot phase. If we're being honest, it's not anywhere near what we intend on this show being. But I'm tuning in. LeConte will be back. Thank you all for the kind comments.
Yeah, man, we appreciate you guys showing up on the lives. Bring more people in. We love it. Tell your friends. Again, like this video, subscribe to the channel. Please share it out. All right, for Sid, I am Jarod, and we will see you guys for sure after the Juve match. Take care.